Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. All of you viewers, this is the first time I'm holding an Nandi Award, which is the most prestigious award in Andhra Pradesh given by the government. And this belongs to the director I'm interviewing today, Krish. So, thank you for introducing me to Nandi.
A small correction, that belongs to my father.
This belongs to your father, the producer.
The producer, actually.
Right,
Directors, you'll get a smaller ones, and the actual people who will get more affected by the filmmaking, the producers, they'll get bigger appreciation.
Bigger appreciation, okay. But anyway, this is very nice, and I'm glad I finally got to see what one looked like, because one keeps hearing about it all the time.
So nice. Yeah.
A lot of people talk about Krish's sensibilities. Like I read a review of Krishnam Tej Jagadgurum that said this movie is a mix of commercial elements and Krish's sensibilities. What are those sensibilities?
I don't know, in this field you'll get tagged so easily, In every story of mine, I try to tell about the same subject, and my subject is the man or woman, human being. If you take Gamyam is a man's travel in the society. He travels on the road and he finds himself in the society. Vedam is the few people in the society. It's a story of the society itself. It's an anthology. Then Krishnam Tej Jagadgurum is I went little higher thought. It kind of my trilogy, which I was thinking at my head while writing. Every man or every woman, every person has a society within themselves where there will be too many shades of that. I tried to explore that kind of thing. In that I had more Gamyam. We have every film of mine. I will see that it should work commercially and it should work emotionally, artistically, entertaining, and everything has to be there.
Right.
But after Vedam, they see me in some kind of one box which I will never fit into. I have my own way of telling stories. So I put more fights in that. The story demanded that one, actually. So some of the reviewers called that. So I'm okay, with anything, actually.
There is some level of truth to that, because the Krish that made Gamyam and Vedam and the Krish that made the following films, there seems to have been a conscious jump towards bigger scale storytelling. Is it simply that now you had more money at your disposal and people are willing to invest in your stories, so you were able to get a bigger canvas, or did you genuinely want to say bigger stories, but the first two films you couldn't because you didn't have the money, and therefore now you're doing what you really want?
After Gamyam and Vedam, all the films were produced by me and my partner and my dad, actually.
Right.
So that money's part was always there. That's not about the money, the kind of stories we picked up.
Yeah.
So after Krishnam Tej Jagadgurum, we picked up Kanche, and the story was never told. When I heard that in military Madhavaram, there is a place called Madhavaram in Godavari district, and they call it military Madhavaram. There were 2,000 people from one village who fought in World War I and II, and we never spoke about that story. So I was so excited when I heard this story. Okay, there is a story to be told. I waited for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. When the opportunity was right, I just narrated the story. Further, the money was needed. Further, the scale was needed. If I were telling another simple story, I would have been told in a much lesser budget. Then after that, I was supposed to do another film, Rayabari, which we thought, in a big spy film. People might have called it, okay, Krish is traveling into a super commercial format. But that time, a state division happened, and we have a new capital, Amaravati, in Andhra Pradesh. So then I decided the story of Shatakarni was born like that, actually. So when Balakrishna sir came, it was a huge star and huge monies kind of thing. Always the stories of mine decided what budget and what scale.
Yeah.
And rather than me trying to scale up or scale down my vision.
Yeah. You seem to be very, very interested in history. You've gone to the past, World War II, or even earlier. Do you really like have a passion for history, or are we still talking about, just like you said, it's the same theme about man and woman? Like for example, let's take Gautamiputra Shatakarni. Just like you said, like this film is about, we all have a society within us. how would you describe Gautam Putra Shatakarni?
In this, I find two questions actually. About one, Gautam Putra Shatakarni. That's again when I was narrating the film. It's about that great king Gautam Putra Shatakarni, of Shatavahana dynasty. But it's about that one man's urge to unite this country, because it's a war-torn country. It used to be called Jambudvipa actually, Then one Bharatakanda, when he's trying to do that, the only solution to do that was by warring the war. Is the only way to make that unite. In that, still I have seen the problem of the society. I was seeing that as a societal issue, and this one person issue basically. Through that, there were so many subtexts were in that film. After a decade of filmmaking, I realized that you have to be very strong with your history, with history, science, and you have to really strong in psychology, to become a good filmmaker. You have to know you can't just tell a story like that, when you want to play in a professional level actually. So imagine this, if you are playing a professional boxing, you will start training yourself, right? You will be training yourself with the punches. You will make your body like that, and you will make sure each and everything goes right. So most of my historical knowledge came after me becoming a filmmaker. I had a little before, but after that, it's because of my academic interest. So while I'm training myself to be a better filmmaker, so I have read many books, and my eye to the story, goes in that direction. Before I was not looking the same. Once, if you think, once I know that, we both are interviewing this, and I recalled each and every of your interview, and when I opened YouTube for some other thing, your interview popped up actually.
Wow.
So you will be, maybe, I was seeing it. Before that, I would have just passed through that, my eye won't go there. Once I become a filmmaker, so Gautam Putra Shatakarni, other day is another, okay, one of the great kings kind of thing. But because of we are in this profession, it's my eyes tried going there. Okay, there is a story to be told. So my interest was there all the time, but right now I can find some stories over there, and
right.
Hence, and of course, you have to be very strong in each and every department to be a good storyteller.
When you're making Balakrishna's 100th film, or when you're making this Pavan Kalyan film that you're making with these superstars, is there an additional pressure to deliver because of the scenario?
There won't be a pressure basically, but you'll be more careful. You'll be more careful because of the huge budgets, because of the huge expectations and superstars. At that time,
careful in what way? In writing it?
In writing in every film, you'll be very careful. But when you're delivering it, actually, you can't. There can't be any scope for any mistakes. And second thing, if it is Vaisshnav Tej, or any newcomer, Varun Tej, when you're working with while working with newcomers, and it's an easier process actually. But with stars, when you're working with the stars, people already expecting a lot from there.
Right.
So they're expecting something and coming to the theaters. And with the newcomers, they're not expecting. They're just expecting what story I'm telling.
Yeah.
So we have to balance that, and that's a great thing in filmmaking. That's a part and parcel of our game.
So there's no specific pressure as such?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And you'll be very elated and excited, to work with stars like Pavan Kalyan garu, Balakrishna garu, Allu Arjun garu, whom I worked with. Yeah.
Let's go back a bit, or let's go into history a bit. Was there a particular film that said, that you looked and said, listen, I've got to become a filmmaker, that kind of instilled that desire in you?
There were many actually. My growing up years, from Sagar Sangamam to Nayagan to, Idayam, Hrudayam in Telugu, Kadesh, Gentleman. There were so many films, many films, growing up years I was watching them, Shiva, many films, I can't name just a few, and Patal Bhairavi very long ago, Maya Bajar, once I revisited those films. I always want to tell stories, but I'm very influenced by some of Raj Kapoor sir's films. So the kind of storytelling is so beautiful, but his concepts are so unique and revolutionary. So I think I won't say influence, but when I see those things, kind of things, I really say that wow, these are the kind of films I want to
Right.
make. Like very Frank Capra kind of style, but with my own strong societal sense.
When you're talking about Frank Capra, you're also talking about a certain kind of a simplicity in emotion, but also something that tells something good.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what the Krish sensibility is that people are talking about.
Might be. I always see that drama actually. There is a lot human drama. You have your own drama, I have my own drama kind of thing. I will try to tap that one and put in the most commercial space, which I know actually.
Right.
Which I know entertaining way, at the same time. At the same time, I strongly believe, things will influence a lot. And cinemas will have influence in good or bad. Every film I am making, I will try to see that will be a new chapter of my filmmaking.
Okay.
Otherwise, then it won't excite me. It won't be that difficult for me to do a simple love story or a story just based on revenge. And I always think that my next story will be a simple love story. Konda Polam, what I did right now, it is a love story by itself, with Ravindra and Obulamma. But at the end of the day, I had to put a lot into that. Gamyam started as a love story actually. A man.
So Konda Polam also started as a love story.
No, Konda Polam is the book actually which I adapted.
Right,
but in the book there is no love story. There is
You
no
had to.
woman.
Okay.
I turned it into a beautiful love story actually. That's with the help of the writer.
Right.
Gamyam started as a love story. A man. It's very easy to love you or love anyone, to say I love you basically. The most difficult part is to receive love actually. Are you good at receiving love? So that is a whole different chapter. So that's where Gamyam started, and I went back into I discussed about society. In that, in that you'll have very colorful characters, very exciting situations. So I want to have a simplistic theme, as large as life, but it should be natural to the core. Actually.
Natural to the core.
Yeah.
Okay. You made your debut in 2008 with Gamyam. It's a little over a decade. How has Krish changed both professionally and personally?
As storytellers, basically, you constantly grow, you evolve, and you have to keep finding yourself. And through my stories, each and every story, my niece asked a question. So the same kind of question, how you see your films kind of thing. I told, I am documenting the present times. When Gamyam was happening, there were talks between Naxals and the government. There are so many issues which were in the Gamyam. Those were the present day times. Vedam happened because after the Bombay blast, and so that Vedam was the time, where the religion was the talking point, and there are many other issues. Krishnamande Jagadguru, where it's the same kind of thing, and at the same time, Kanche, Andhra and Telangana divided into 2 states. Actually, you have a fence between. So I want to tell the story of the fence. Then Gautamiputta Satakani, there was a capital kind of thing. Then NTR Sir's biopic. I'm talking about Telugu films. And then Pawan Kalyan Sir's film, Harihara Veeramallu. Then Konda Polam. Every film is actually the time based. At that moment, at that time, I am behaving like that, I am thinking, or the society is behaving like that. If you see, Konda Polam is the same kind of thing. I was so surprised to hear in 21st century, people are still taking their sheep and they are going to the mountains to
the forest.
To forest mountains to feed those actually. And there were several people like Ravindras, who they don't have enough confidence and they will just give up kind of thing. So it's about one guy's story, come on, get up and be yourself and don't give up kind of story. It's a very present day story for me. So I told my niece that I'm just documenting the time. If you see all my films one time, at 2000 from 8 to till date, how I was growing, or how the society is going, how I am growing. So all these things will be documented kind of thing. Personally, I am much with each story, each story gives you a lesson. If you say Bhagavad Gita to Ramayana to Bible or Bharata, anything you take actually, there is something you take home. I think I took a lot from my stories now actually. I'm a better man. I'm a better man from where I started basically, and I'm very confident that I'm becoming a much better man than yesterday, day before kind of thing.
Right. Does this also mean that we will never see, let's say, a movie about a psychopathic killer from Krish?
Why not?
Because you want stories that you mentioned Raj Kapoor, Frank Capra, with they're all people who inspire. So I'm trying to see.
No, if the story basically, imagine. Let's talk about Dark Knight kind of thing. If that is a character, if I have to tell kind of thing, if I have my own spin, who knows? I like one novel in Telugu called Senivaram Nadi.
Okay.
That's it's about psychotic killer. So a long time, we want to do web series, from my company. We discuss many times. The story excites you. Sometimes some stories will. Not every story has to be a preacher. Not every story has to say something kind of thing. But in that, I will find my own way of talking about that human being.
Or talking about society at that time.
Might be, yes.
Yeah. Okay. There are two ways that people approach filmmaking. You were an AD to Rasool Ellore, and there are many people who kind of want to jump in and make their own film, on their own. What method would you recommend personally? Because it's become much easier to make a film today compared to when you started. Is being an AD, what did it teach you? When you joined that movie, and which also became a big success. So
for me, right now at this time, basically, just I want you to just get out there, take your camera, put whoever your friends, make a film, and just see yourself, and you have to learn on the go. That's the best way. I always say, in my previous interviews, for my previous films, I was telling, after a decade of filmmaking, I understood how to make a film. So now I can make films in a better way. Now, of course, I have to keep a level head and find that right story. So if you are talking about technical part, that's not that difficult right now. We can edit at home. We can do everything on our laptops actually. But the difficult part is, find your best writing partner. Either you write or find your best writing partner. At the same time, try to tell a honest story, a real honest story. Just don't tell a story for the sake of telling a story.
Right.
So you do a camera, you do whatever technical things. As a director, I'm not great at anything. Okay, camera I don't know. My DOP will do. Dance, master will do. Music, music director will do. Production, produce. Every craft you'll have other people.
Right, but your influences and everything.
But
right?
I have only one thing. That's my common sense. I want this. I don't want this. I want this. I won't want this.
Yeah.
I'm just giving the directions. I'm just GPS. Okay, we have to reach there kind of thing.
I think you're underestimating.
No, not that. The primary thing. So one of the great filmmaker told that, what's your scariest moment? When you go onto the sets. He told, the moment I'm stepping out from my car, that's the scariest moment, because 100 people are waiting for my calls. I'm not directing actually. I'm not doing any great work. I'm doing one thing. I'm solving each and every problem.
Yeah.
Okay, what costumes this one? Okay, where the camera goes there. What time is the food? Okay, this time is food. I'm giving answers. Actors are doing acting and they're saying that, okay, this is good. Okay, this is good. This is okay. This is not good.
Right.
So you have so many. You have a great team, to support the director. A huge team. Select your right team. Select your right story. Then the team will help you to do that.
Right.
But your work is selecting the right story,
right.
Selecting your right team, having a balanced head, and give your right decisions. Don't take ego, or 100 people will give 100 decisions. On my set, everybody will tell me something, but I won't take yes or no kind of thing. I'll just listen. I'll take whatever I have to take, whatever I have to leave, and then I'll finally give my talk actually. So that will come only through practice actually. So if you have 4 friends, make one film if you really want to tell a story, and that's the way to learn now.
So you don't think doing the AD route is the
no, I'm not saying that. Basically, film school is there are 10 ways to go to one destination.
That's right, but I want to know, in your particular
for
case,
me right now, I will tell them to read a lot, and if possible, join a film school if you can afford, or if not, join a director, to learn kind of thing. If not, you become your own director with your third film or fourth film, third short film or fourth short film. you will become a director.
Yeah.
I'm talking when I started, basically, the phones were not this kind of thing. If I have all this equipment right now, if I in my laptop I can edit, if in my phone I can shoot, I would have done that actually, which I did actually at that time. So the best way is by practice. You practice either through the school, either through joining a film production, or by yourself. If there are some people, somebody in remote area, okay, he cannot join a thing, somewhere. He can do it there actually. Right now, the scope of getting an opportunity increased a huge way.
Definitely.
You find your path actually. There is no one rule for that actually.
Yeah. Where I was going with that is because there are a lot of people who consider that AD route as a kind of a Gurukula, where there is this director and he has a bunch of, for example, in Tamil, Balu Mahendra, the great Balu Mahendra, all his disciples, so to speak, they've all become very successful filmmakers, very important filmmakers. So they keep stressing the value of what they learned from the director that they worked with. So that's what I was just a little curious as to, you think, like if you're on your own.
No, you have to have your own path. Of course, the guru will, Guru Shishya Parampara will be there. But I'm saying the times, you have to
have changed.
You have to have a very unique path, because those days, or I'm talking about decade back, there were handful of directors, by a handful of opportunities. Right now, the number of platforms to everything, is huge actually. But the only way to get going is, find your unique path.
Right.
That is, the only mantra now.
Am I right in assuming that Konda Polam is the first film that you have not written yourself?
In Telugu, yes.
That is, it is based on a novel, but the screenplay is not by you.
Screenplay is by me.
It is by you?
Yeah, screenplay. Okay. The story is by Sanapreddy Venkatramreddy Garu. Then he wrote the dialogues and everything. Okay. So when we decided to make that into a film, and I invited Venkatramreddy Garu and we sat here, then the film was written, the book was written in a very structural manner actually. So, but these are two different mediums, one is a book and one is a film. There will be a lot of characters in a book, and there will be less characters, the duration, that what we can discuss, what we should not, kind of thing. So, and I know the cinematic format, and he is very efficient in the book format. So, we sat together and we discussed, this is the way I want to go, and there is no female character in the book actually. So, once I got the female character, once I know how I am narrating the story is told in a flashback, where this guy goes to an UPSC interview and they ask, tell me about your story, he goes back to narrating his story. So, these are the devices which I planted, and I wrote the screenplay for the thing. Sir, I am seeing your story like this. Right. Now, can you write the story again? So, the same thing. No, I told I need this character called Obulamma, and I need to pair with Ravinda. So, he developed Obulamma character and he wrote the dialogues for that. So, I wrote the scenes, and this is how the additional scenes which were not in the book, and I wrote all of those in the screenplay order. Then he fulfilled again the dialogues and everything. So, it's a kind of jugalbandi, but in the film we are creating screenplay and direction by me, and story and dialogues by Mr. Sanapreddy Venkatramreddy.
Okay, okay. Yeah. But you really enjoy the writing process? Huge,
the best, every filmmaker will have one of his favorite department basically, filmmaking time. For me, writing is a great thing, and I have only one fear in life, what's my next story. So, every time after this story, constantly we are working on this story, but somewhere kind of thing, oh, you don't have your next story, you don't have your next thing to tell. I feel I'm lifeless actually. Though I'm working on a big films, you always have that thing. Once I find that, oh, this is the story I want to tell, kind of thing, I'm little satisfied, kind of hunger. I might tell or I might not tell. Things will change a lot, but I know that my next story is there, kind of thing. So, I enjoy writing process a lot, and that's the time I really see the film. And once I finish the script, and once I write my rolling titles, then I know that, okay, this is here, I'm good.
There's another thing that a lot of people talk about, how differently you direct actors. What is your process of directing actors?
I think I don't direct actors actually. No,
Is that your process?
that's my process.
You leave them.
I leave them, and I'm in the script itself. It was very clear actually, and I give them environment. I will find the right location for the actors and the right attacks. They will be there, and the dialogues are there. So when I'm directing the actors, I never see the scene paper. So I know the scene. Most of the times I write the scenes, and dialogues will be written by Sai Madhav Garu, or in this film, Sannapreddy Venkataramadreddy Garu. So when I go to the set, we all actors will join here and okay, what you're saying, what you're saying, what you're saying. The same script, we won't miss. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. While we are doing this, I will see how they are correlating with each other. Then that will be the scene, and let's do one master kind of thing. And they will be performing, and I will just correct here, 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 here kind of thing. And they won't even know that I'm correcting, and I won't realize the fact that I'm not directing the actors. I'm just telling this, telling this, telling this. If it is absolutely necessary, then I go and I act and show. If it is absolutely necessary, in the minutest way. And that's why most of the actors in the same frame, they'll have their unique things. They won't act like me. Okay. They'll act like their own selves. Okay. And when I'm not telling, I'm not directing them, it's their job actually to find that they have to go deep into the story. They have to really do their work, and that will really comes onto the screen.
Right. Now, on the one hand, I heard that it took you almost a year to write Kanche because there was so much research involved and all that. So that's the interesting part of the writing, right?
Yeah.
What do you get? What satisfaction do you get out of like a remake like Gabbar is back? It's like you know there is a A.R. Murugadas script there with Ramana.
It's fun actually. I went to Bombay to make Gamyam as a remake.
Okay.
I was supposed to do a film with Mahesh at that time called Shivam. Then that got delayed, and at the same time Mr. Sanjay Bansali sir, he was interested in Gamyam at that time. We went there, but at the same time this film, they were searching for a director. I was there doing my ads. I used to do a lot of ads there. That time they are looking for a director, and they approached me. I was thinking, I was in double minds. Some of my friends, and they encouraged and everything, and I was also thinking that okay, let me do this one. So it started as a I know that that's a great content, Ramana or Tagore, really great content. So I was very interested and fascinated by the hospital scene basically. Then I started, okay, let me visit back this film again. I watched it and I thought, okay, let me do it. There is nothing wrong in that. I remade my film Vedam. I remade Gabbar, and it's an experience which I gathered.
Right.
Yeah.
No. There's nothing wrong in it. I was just curious because, you're such a you have such a strong sensibility of writing and all that kind of stuff.
Trying the medium. I'm writing my own stories, but when I find a novel, I was very excited to adapt it.
But you had to adapt it. It still had to write it. So was there any?
No, Gabbar was adapted. Gabbar 80%, 70% is the same. Then we developed a lot because it's a decade back film for that time. Right. So we had to revisit and we rewrote, and with Rajat Arora and Mr. Kannan, we did that stuff. But it's great directing, Akshay Kumar sir, a lot of discipline to learn from. Right. At the same time, it gave me a good career in Hindi also, which of course later I moved back to Hyderabad, and so, so everything was happy. What I aimed at, I got it.
What happened with Manikarnika though?
Really, I spoke one time basically. Manikarnika, I directed the entire film as the first copy. Everybody dubbed actually. Then Kangana saw the film and she didn't like the film, and she asked me to delete some of the portions. Maybe it's more than 40 minutes, mainly of Mr. Sonu Sood's character. Right. I was adamant I don't want to do it, and if you want, you can do kind of thing. So she took, and then I came back to Hyderabad to direct NTR, and she took the film and she deleted 40 minutes of the film, and she directed later part. But for me, I finished what I finished the film. All the dubbings were done. Right. Sonu Sood, everybody dubbed for the film. The re-recording was started. It's that final end of the post-production time. That time she was shooting for Mental Hekya. once she came back, because we finished the film, she went back and she came back. She has to dub. She saw before dubbing, and she has her own issues, kind of thing. Which is either there should be only one captain for the ship actually. Then I moved out and she took away, which is not not in good taste for me, but filmmaking, there will be 100 instances like that.
Sure. So what I'm curious about is, you agreed on a script, you delivered a first copy. What was it that she did not like, that did not work for her when
No, it's a different kind of thing. Every film works in different way.
Right.
Okay, that's a as a filmmaker's final copy. That's not my final copy. Okay, there will be music coming, that coming, this coming, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she saw it. She didn't like it. She didn't like it. Simple. She didn't like it, and she said, remove these kind of things. And okay, that I don't want to, because I'm loving it. It's a great film. We all thought, whoever saw that, entire my team who saw that, and they said, wow, what a great film, kind of thing we made. Some of the team members, later, who worked with her, they told me that we didn't like the film, kind of thing. We want to change it, actually. So it won't maybe that time when I had this, it won't make me any lesser director, good or bad, kind of thing. So but I don't want to be in that situation where I want to be told, kind of thing. No, I know that it's a teamwork. We decide this, we want to do this. No, you want to do this, you just do this, kind of thing. I can't be just there saying start, action, camera, and cut. So I said, okay, suit yourself.
Okay, so there was the cut that you made. Does that exist?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe that might exist, but not with me, or kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe with the producer.
Okay. Can you very, very briefly, fundamentally say the vision, what was different between the two versions?
Sonu Sood's character. So Sonu Sood's character, he in the movie he dies in around 1 hour 50th minute, actually. But Kangana said, let's kill him by the intermission. Basically, he has to get killed, and that first half it has to be over, and second half we will go there. But I was going through the history, that was Jhansi Lakshmibai's story was a history. It was a dream project for me too. When everybody wants to name it as Jhansi, I said, no, it has to be called Manikarnika. I remember going to Manikarnika Ghat, and I remember me, my cameraman, and our director, we all when they're sleeping and actually literally talking to the walls of the Jhansi fort. And so they were, I was too taken away by the phenomenon of Jhansi Lakshmibai as a storyteller. So I was clear in what I was telling at that time, and she's seeing another film. There are two filmmakers, basically, right. Two people in filmmaking business who are seeing the same story in different way. This interview you might be seeing as something, and I will be seeing as something, kind of thing. For example, when we start this interview, my primary aim is, to speak as much as of Konda Polam, so that
which we are getting to
later.
Yeah.
But your primary aim is, to cover it a lot and make it a kind of thing. So we both have our own reasons, right, to do this interview. So you want to have a clear. You want to know from Gamyam to now talking to the whole filmmaker, and I'm eagerly waiting. Where is my part? Let me speak about Konda Polam, kind of thing. In the same film, kind of thing, as a director, make you or me the actor, and I'm seeing in my way. You are seeing in your way.
Yeah.
You might be whole, I might be less, or I might be whole, you might be less. So that happened between. I'm just trying this as an analogy, actually.
Yeah.
I think you get that. So we are seeing the same film in two different ways, actually, which didn't work.
Yeah. Okay. Now we do get back to Konda Polam, which now because I have a theory about this film, that after massive films like the two NTR films, Gautami Putra Chatakarni, all these movies, that you finally want to get back to a slightly smaller space again. Not smaller in terms of what it tells or whatever it is, but like something non-epic, Am I right in that guess?
Every of Konda Polam posters, we put that the epic story of becoming, actually.
It has
its own epicness in this.
Yeah.
And it's not that easy to shoot, actually. We shot in the forest, and you'll see a lot of tigers, pythons, and each and everything. Right. But I was never calculating like that.
Okay.
This happened so
because of the story,
and because of lockdown and Corona too, actually. And because of support from Mr. Pawan Kalyan sir. What happened was we were in lockdown, and in June, around June 15th actually, I was reading this book. We met, we had a directors association meeting. So from Rajamouli garu, Trivikram to Kotala, everybody, Shekhar to Sukumar, everybody was there. We were discussing about books, and somebody is asking about the books, and then Indraganti Mohan Krishna and Sukumar, they asked about, did you read this book, Konda Polam and Shaptabhumi? I said, I think I have it's somewhere at home kind of thing. I didn't start them. So I came here from the library. I picked those books and I read Saptabhumi. It's really great. I was thinking, oh, this can be a great web series like Game of Thrones kind of thing. It's that great content. Then I started reading Konda Polam. I was in love with that book. Mad. After 3 days, and I was thinking that okay, this can be a story. I called my associates. Most of my associates, they're writing their own films. They're becoming directors kind of thing. I said, let's do this story.
This was during the first lockdown.
First lockdown.
Yeah.
This is happening in July actually. Okay. I was speaking to them, and they were thinking that they are giving their own interpretations kind of thing. Then I called my partner Rajiv, and let's buy this book. And he spoke to Mr. Venkatram Reddy garu. We just bought the book. The book is with us, and the story is running in my mind. And I gifted this book to Mr. Pawan Kalyan garu. When I went there, he's an avid reader. He reads a lot actually. So with a couple of other books actually, before I gave some you will know RRE books actually. This time I went with a couple of books, and he checked it. I was narrating the story. While I was narrating the story, I find it more interesting kind of thing. After 15 days, I met him again. Then I asked him, sir, when we are talking about, and I was talking about our financial constraint. It's been 5 months, 6 months, all the teams were there, nobody's having work kind of thing. He was telling, how to manage this kind of thing. Then I asked, sir, when you will be coming back, and he said, around December, I think. This is in July actually. Yeah. This is in July, August it's happening. We are and maybe October we are thinking that time we can work with. October, November I will work with Vakil Saab, and I might join you from December. Be ready, and we are discussing our script. And
this is for the actual Pawan Kalyan film.
That we already shot at that time.
Right.
A couple of schedules for over.
Yeah.
Then I went again after that, then I had to pay some income tax dues and this and everything. Checking the, Raju and me were checking the budgets and everything. Then I went back to Kalyan sir. Sir, all the teams were there. There is a financial need and there is a work need. Nobody shooting in industry, but I have a plan. He said, but ours is a huge film. If we put a camera, we need 500 people. We need horses, we need chariots and everything. If you permit, I want to do a small film, sir, called, what is that kind of thing, Konda Polam. And I don't know where I have that guts to speak to him, to ask his permission. But he was with a beautiful smile, he said, basically, I can understand. I know that, how much, monthly burning will be there for everyone. And what's your plan? I said, sir, I'm taking around 80 people. We are getting vaccinated, going to Vikarabad forest, staying there, and we'll finish the film. I don't know who the hero is. I don't know who the heroine is. I'm just telling him the plan.
And you don't even have a script ready or anything like that?
I have a story ready. I'm writing the story so that one of my associates can direct.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking like that actually. By the time I got Obalama, by the time I got this vehicle, how to tell the story. Then Kalyan sir, and he, I don't know, his greatness of Kalyan sir basically, I have to immensely salute that person, that great person now. So he said, go do the film and come back. I didn't even speak to M. Ratnam sir till that time, because I just went to Kalyan sir, I gave the book kind of things. Then I told, sir, I will come back again, sure I will finish. And he smiled and he said, I know about your planning and everything. So September, October you finish and come back, join by November kind of thing. So do our work November. Then I thought, okay, post-production, because it's a huge graphics works there, and I can leave it to the my team and kind of thing. That's how it started. I came back, and next day I called Vaisshnav. Till that time I didn't think Vaisshnav basically, because, and then I saw
you saw a song.
Oh, Uppana's song, yeah. Nikalu Nili Samudram. Then I called Vaisshnav, come home, please. He came. He thought it was for a party kind of thing. We met in a couple of parties and at my home before. And he came home and I made him sit and narrate the story. Anna, we are doing this film, yeah, we are doing this film kind of thing. Then we are thinking of a couple of other girls kind of thing. I was searching for the talent. Then we have only 40 days, we have to go that. This is first time, it's the first film didn't release kind of thing. Then okay, Rakul will be very nice kind of thing, proposed by my DOP kind of thing. And my producer Rajiv. I was very excited. Then I called Rakul came. Then we made a team and we went there. Then we shot for some 45 days, but it was like 43 days, I think. But it's like 6:30 till 9 kind of thing, we are shooting continuously every moment. Being a newcomer, Vaisshnav, always there, and he's one of my associate director too kind of thing. And it's such a pleasure working with him. The way he wants to learn things is very inspiring. And working with most disciplined actors, Rakul Preeti is another thing.
Yeah.
So it really worked.
She's one of the rare people whose lip syncs are almost always right.
So it's really mesmerizing to work with this team. I got a dream team to tell this story. So everything fell in place. It's not about small script or big script. Once we went into that, and we were going deep into that. And it's the same hard work, of everyday shoot what you go to each and every one. Your vision is big or small kind of thing. But here, when we are telling that, I realized that we are telling the story that India has never seen.
Okay.
A shepherd's story, from Srinagar to here, from Jharkhand, you go anywhere, we see there will be several sheep on the mountains. We never realize why they were there. Now I always see while we are traveling kind of thing, hey, it's so funny. But these shepherds, they took their sheep for their food or water all the way till those mountains kind of thing to just feed them. It's such a difficult story. In the forest means we have seen many smugglers or kind of Naxalite movement stories or different kind of stories or docu style, but we have never seen a story like this.
Yeah.
So and every moment it has great moments. Every time is huge thrilling ride actually. When I find the story, I want to tell the story and want to do the real justice. When we went there, we approached it, like our own magnum opus kind of thing. We have tigers, we have pythons, to everything, and it's not that easy to make a film with animals.
Yeah.
So not 1-2 animals. I have 1,000 animals, 1,000 sheep we worked with, and a dog, and it's very difficult. All my energies used to go to mend them and come into the shot actually. So once I started doing that, actually, it's more difficult. It's more difficult than doing a period film. So anyway, it's a great journey, and we got a great film, and I'm super excited about that one now.
Right. So when I saw the trailer, it appeared to me that the tiger and the lamb is a kind of metaphor. Is that right?
Of course, when there is a lot he's telling. A man. This person who has his own fears kind of thing, he has to face a lot, but finally he faces the lion, and he understands that it's easy for a lion to catch hold of a animal, because
like a tiger.
For a tiger to catch hold of an animal, because it walks on the 4 legs, and the tiger knows where the neck is actually. But for a man, if he is on the erect, on his spine, tiger won't know where the neck is. But this man, Ravindra, when he's going from the village to the city, he won't go with a straight spine. He crawls,
Right.
Metaphorically kind of thing. But when he stands on his feet kind of thing, that's when he can face the tiger
That's
itself.
beautiful.
Conflict kind of.
It's almost like a fable. It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful fable.
Yeah,
When you read Alchemist, how beautiful you feel. With this book I read, I felt that, and in this film also, I was very excited to tell this film. But now I'm seeing this, you rightly put actually, which I'm gonna use in my next interviews. That this is a beautiful fable actually.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
No, and also because your tagline says the epic story of a becoming.
Yes.
That's the becoming.
Everybody's becoming.
Yeah. So like it's almost like a baby that learns to crawl, finally learns to stand up.
Absolutely.
He's a person who's
we train to drive a car. We train ourselves. To walk as kids and our parents will drive. Where are we training ourselves to be super confident in the society?
Right.
Are we getting trained? Very
Right.
rarely actually.
Right.
So this film, it talks about you have to learn to do that,
So,
but not anywhere, but seeing your elders, you can really do that.
right. So it's almost like in business terms, you would say you would call these soft skills.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
because-
personality, you can say a personality development kind of thing, the skills, yeah.
Yeah, because they teach you engineering and they teach you math and they teach you science and they teach you this and that. But in India, especially, I've rarely seen people being encouraged to, what are your thoughts on this, or even being asked to that.
Yeah.
We always keep following a syllabus.
How many engineering colleges are, I think at least now there are many engineering colleges are doing that actually. They are preparing the students for the interviews, for the different tests and everything, or for the group discussions. But many, they didn't do that actually, for a long time.
Explain the epic part to me. Like the becoming, I understand, but why do you want to call it an epic?
Travel itself is an epic travel, and being in the forest and everything, and their issues are the epic issues. What they are fighting. They are not fighting a regular villains kind of thing. There are red sandalwood smugglers who are trying to steal their sheep. There is a lion. There will be pythons will be there. Bears will be there, and there will be accidents in the mountains, and they have to find the ways where they can get the grass, where they get the water kind of thing. The journey itself is...
It's almost like the survival is an epic thing.
Absolutely. The survival, the journey itself is, the hardships are epic. Each and everything. That life itself is, once you see the film, you will really empathize with him in a greater way actually.
Now, how difficult is it to make a film with animals, in the sense that, there is going to be a lot of graphic work and people are going to be acting, looking at nothing at first, and then you're going to add that later on, or whatever it is. It's a very different process from all of your earlier films. This one, I imagine. Like, it's not that the earlier films didn't have graphics, but that would have probably been like, okay, you would have built one level of a fort, but the rest of the fort would have been filled up by graphics or something like that. Here you're talking about like living creatures and those kinds of things. Did you find it satisfactorily done?
That's one other reason for me to choose this genre, the subject basically. From my road film to this film, this is a film which I'm working with animals. I'm creating a tiger. I'm working like, it's like a jungle book kind of thing. You have a tiger, you are creating a python, you are working in the forest. All these, from lizards to several things we created in this film. But that's a part and parcel of the business. The actors, they'll get used within few seconds and few minutes, to act without anything. And many cases they are good with acting for camera. Most of the selection shots are their close-ups. There will be only one. They are talking to imaginary person. So that's not that difficult actually. That difficult of what audience think. And they are professional actors and they can do it really right.
Right. Now in India, would you say that we have animators that are on par with the best in the world?
Yeah, we work with Silver Cloud, Mr. Rajiv Rajshekharan and Shweta, they are the supervisor and producer. The team is wonderful actually, each and everyone in their team, they, when I went there and I can feel that real tiger thing, and that's not that difficult at this time, only thing is you have to have more money and more time, and we can deliver on par with anyone else.
Now, at the beginning you said that every story of yours is about a man or a woman, and we just talked about how Konda Polam is the story of a man. What about Harihara Veeramallu? How it's by now everybody knows it's a Robin Hood kind of story, because I think that's the one thing that everybody splashed across the newspapers or tabloids. But without revealing too much, it's a period film. It's Pawan Kalyan's first period film. Is it also something that you would say has to do with man and society?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Big time, I can't reveal anything else on this one, but it will be a huge shocker, and that's one of its kind story actually.
Shocker?
Exactly, it's an historical interpretation of mine. So I did historical films, but I didn't do historical interpretation kind of thing. You'll see that you will see so many characters who are in the history, and you'll see my own story kind of thing.
Okay, so you're taking characters from history but doing your own spin on it.
Exactly, it will be like that, yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Super interesting.
Yeah. It's almost like you're creating an alternate
absolutely
world, like
exactly
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But the very exciting fact is, Pawan Kalyan sir is donning that character, and I'm very excited. First time when he when I saw him in that attire, actually, you might have seen the first looks and everything. Very exciting. We finished half of the film.
Right.
First half is done, and only one scene is left, and we are shooting again from November 12th. I'm super duper excited about that one too.
Right. Is there a film that you've ever started, like with the script is really working for you, you've really given it your all and everything, but somewhere midway you feel, oh, this is not happening. There's something's going a little off. I don't want you to name any film,
Never,
but
never.
it's never happened.
Never. The one thing always I see in, before making any film is, write it really right. So I write, and with all my team, we prepare a lot actually. Whatever is there, it has to be filtered. The number of days I take for production is very minimal or very accurate actually. So my example is always like that. If I need a shirt, it will be 2.5 meters. I don't need 20 meters kind of thing, or if not 2.5, 3 meters. I know that. So I know the measurements, and I will go for that. So whenever we write the script, and we work on that one, and we really prepare well, and we go do that. And if there is anything, it has to come in there. And because we go recce the locations, work with actors, and work with my technicians like M.M. Kirwani sir, to Sastri Garu, to Sai Madhav, to Jan Shekhar and Rajiv, our producers.
Right.
So it never happened to me, and I hope and it will never happen.
Right. Now tell me in truth, what is the role of a director? I want you to define it, because you just said it's making bunch of calls. It's more than that. Come on.
Absolutely, yes. I'm a CEO.
Yeah.
I'm a CEO. I will make sure that each and every department of my my team works really nice, and of course I will come up with the plans. I, as a storyteller, as a writer director, this Konda Polam, I will tell how this process. Konda Polam, I picked the book. Okay, this can be a movie. Then I approach my producer Rajiv Reddy and my dad. Rajiv Reddy said, let's make this kind of thing. I made that movement. Then it's Rajiv's duty, arranging the funds, how to do that, everything, is administrating and producing. I went to Pawan Kalyan Garu, fetched that permission kind of thing, spoke to A.M. Ratnam Garu, fetched the permission. I found the actors. Okay, then once I found the actors, I found the writer, and now I'm just directing the writer to write and give me the dialogues.
Yeah.
I'm doing that part.
Yeah.
So each and every department, I'm sitting with them, I'm just directing. With M.M. Kirwani sir, for this thing, he is the one who took the film to the next pedestal. He knows what are the pitfalls in this kind of thing, where it has to be plugged and kind of thing. That's his department. Music wise, I left it to him. But I will be directing, sir, I need a song here, this one, and discuss with him. So as a director, you have to play as the thread of all the pearls kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I am that thread, but I am a very strong thread. I am a clear thread actually.
Yeah.
But I will take everyone, and I will show that as my my pearl necklace, or my thing.
Yeah,
actually.
that's what a director is, and I'm
Always
glad you said that,
actually,
because
yeah.
earlier you were being a little too modest and
It's
saying.
not modest actually. I'm trying to say a director has to have one thing, and most importantly that one thing, the common sense.
Yeah.
You have to go to M.M. Kirwani sir. He has given one song kind of thing. You like it, you say. If you don't like it, you have to say that sir kind of thing. You have to have that common sense that you can ask him.
Right.
So he will come back kind of thing. You should not have egos. There are some qualities a director should have. So these are the things I try to make a point there. Yeah.
And also, even it could be simple, like maybe somebody, like he's given a piece of music to a scene, like a background music, and maybe in your head that scene should not have background music. You've seen it without it or something like that. So even those calls you have to kind
those
of.
Those are rare, with legendaries like M.M. Kirwani sir. The most difficult part of re-recording, or most beautiful part, is spotting actually. Where to give music, where not to, or where to start, where to land and everything. And he is a master.
You don't have to do anything there.
No, with M.M. Kirwani sir, I think with Ilaraja sir and M.M. Kirwani sir, you need not to even think about it actually. Those are the people who will take the film, they know it really kind of thing. And he always says, the best piece of music I am giving for this scene, that is silence. Silence is kind of thing. But no, with when I am working with my cameraman, my cameraman will set a frame, he will do everything. I will just ask, can we move little back, little right? my duty is there kind of thing. I need not to know intricacies of how the camera is working, how
That's
it's
true.
capturing kind
That's
of thing. So that let him do. I am trying to say that you find your team, you find your story, you find your strengths. If you find any weakness of yours, find a right person to accompany you and to overcome that one. But try to tell a honest story. That's the advice I want to give to the young filmmakers. If you can't join anywhere, if you can't be at a film school, try to find your own group or try to find your own teams and do it by yourself.
Right. Was it any more difficult, the terrain that you shot in, the forest or the mountains? Did that add any extra
There are
complications?
huge complications. We can't take all our equipment upstairs. I remember that first day we were going to the mountains. Each and everyone have to carry one or other box. Vaisshnav was carrying, Rakul was carrying, and I was carrying Jimmy Jeep. Kind of. It was a fun. No, of course that built us as a team. For 40 days we were in the same forest and the same resorts. We were close together. And it's trekking each and every day, and it's a great experience. At the same time, team building exercise. But those days were difficult, but right now it's a great memory.
Finally, I just want to ask you if this film will have Krish's sensibilities.
Big time. My sensibilities are nothing. I do films first for me actually, the very first person. I'm the I always see that okay, is it working for me? Is it working for me? It's working for me. It's working great actually, and I believe that if it works for me, it works for the audience actually.
So you trust your internal barometer?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, I have clarity in that. Yeah.
Okay. So that means that when you even when you're doing a very complicated thing like which you just, which sounds so interesting, which is to give your own spin to established historical characters, it's going to be something that you're very clear about. This is what I'm doing in terms of it's not going to offend anybody, or it's not going to.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, we are in the film business actually. Yeah.
You did mention that you are producing a lot of OTT content, but you're not directing anything as yet, as of now. But is that something that you are even looking at right now, or right now your focus is on?
The focus is only on the
theatrical
mainstream experience actually.
Okay.
But I'm producing for OTT a lot. Yeah.
Like most people say the same thing. It's like they see the two coexisting.
Of course,
and the theatrical film is going to be different, and the OTT films.
I'm a big believer of that.
Right.
Yeah, we used to have a television films, and now there is another medium added. That's it. But every household has a kitchen, but you will go to the restaurant. Every one of our homes we have a small mandir actually, but we go to the temple. Every household will have TVs or home theaters, but we'll go to the theaters. So I'm very sure about it.
On that very happy note, thank you so much, Krish.
Thank you so much. It's very pleasure talking
to you.
Real
pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.